We are now approaching the longest shutdown in American history.
Democrats' fault.
This reporter thought she came prepared until Trump showed her who's exactly running the room. You guys gotta check this video out.
President Trump addressing the alleged retribution against his political opponents in his first CBS interview since the Bari Weiss takeover and since settling a lawsuit with the network.
James Comey, John Bolton, Letitia James were all recently indicted. There's a pattern to these names. They're all public figures who have publicly denounced you. Is it political retribution?
You know what? You know who got indicted? The man you're looking at. I got indicted, and I was innocent.
Did you instruct the Department of Justice to go after them?
Not in any way, shape, or form. No, you don't have to instruct them because they were so dirty, they were so crooked, they were so corrupt.
Donald Trump's not the type of guy to go back and forth with a journalist. He's the type to educate him. And this right here is a masterclass of logic versus emotion. He's going to do a very good job of calling out the career politicians and the career criminals that took advantage of the justice system to go after him. Let's keep going, guys.
Fox News contributor Joe Concha joins us now. Joe, good morning. What were your top takeaways from this interview?
Good morning. Well, I think the president is correct here, Carly. It's not about retribution. It's about those 6 words we heard over and over again when it came to President Trump. No one is above the law. So whether we're talking about James Comey or John Bolton or Letitia James, the question is, did they break the law and be held accountable? Now, from a media standpoint, it is telling that the president did decide to go back on 60 Minutes something like 5 years after the last time he did that. And that is the Bari Weiss effect in terms of righting the ship and over there because it's gone so far to the left and so biased towards anybody remotely conservative. Maybe we can make it Mike Wallace's 60 Minutes again. That's the hope here. And you watched that interview last night, and I thought the questions were fair, and it was like watching your daddy's 60 Minutes again, and that's a good thing.
And I also think it was very important, the time slot. They had a very good lead-in with the Chiefs-Bills game, a lot of eyeballs on that. It gave the president a major opportunity to get his message out there. And also, like you said, with Norah O'Donnell asking actual legitimate questions, I think it was a win for everybody involved. Speaking of winning, Kamala Harris did not. And now George Clooney is defending his 2024 op-ed, calling for former President Biden to withdraw for the race, but he's also criticizing Democrats' quote-unquote mistake with Kamala Harris. Clooney saying, quote, I think the mistake with it being Kamala is she had to run against her own record. It's very hard to do. If the point of running is to say that I'm not that person, it's hard to do. And so she was given a very tough task. I think it was a mistake, quite honestly, but we are where we are. I'll ask you the same question, Joe, I asked you in July 2024. Why does an actor feel like he should have an outsized role in picking the president more so than any single voter?
That's the amazing thing, right? I mean, it was George Clooney that right after that 2024 debate wrote that op-ed. I believe it was in the Washington Times, maybe the New York Times, or Washington Post, I should say, and said that Joe Biden should drop out. And that had more of an impact in that happening than any Democrat lawmaker coming forward and saying that. So, yeah, obviously, Clooney's right. It was a mistake to have Kamala Harris in there as far as being the installed candidate. Democrats should have had an open primary and actually have voters weigh in from the Democrat side in terms of picking who the candidate was instead of going Soviet style the way they did with Kamala Harris, because all she did was lose the popular vote. Every swing state gave back the Senate to Republicans, and they held the House. So overall, the worst $1.5 billion investment we have seen in political history. That is for certain. But George Clooney, again, apparently has a lot of sway within the Democrat Party, despite not having like a real big hit since Ocean's 11, which came out, I think it was about 25 years ago.
It was a good movie, though.
Excellent movie.
I mean,
Danny Ocean.
You can't just take that away from him. Do you think that his opinion now has any sway over the 2028 race if Kamala Harris jumps in then? Or are we so far from that it doesn't really matter?
No, that's true. I think, honestly, Carly, if Kamala Harris runs, if she runs for 2028 as far as being president, she won't get to 2028. She's never earned a vote in her life as far as running for president. So I could see more of an AOC or a Gavin Newsom being the nominee, which That's not going to go well if that's the case, because you have to win in places like Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, North Carolina, Georgia. And I just don't see anybody from California being a politician going in there and actually appealing to those types of voters.
Well, don't worry. If we want George Clooney's opinion on what happens in 2028, he'll let us know in 2029, just like he did
And
now.
30.
At this point, if you're still mad at President Trump, you're just not paying attention. Or you just can't handle being wrong. Trump's not dividing America. He's exposing who actually thinks. And every time Trump speaks, that divide gets a little bit more clear. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're new. And as always, let me know what you react to. We're out.